Notice, this story is a work of fiction. It is not based on real life or actual events. Viewer discretion is advised. The sun had long since set on the ancient city, casting a deep crimson glow over the temples and gardens. In the heart of Gion, a historic district known for its traditional Japanese architecture and geisha culture, a sense of unease settled over the narrow streets. It was a feeling that had become all too familiar in the recent weeks. Rumors had begun to circulate about a geisha with a twisted sense of beauty and a taste for blood. Some said she was a cursed spirit born from the darkness of the city's past. Others claimed she was a mere mortal, driven by madness and a desire for revenge. Her name was whispered in hushed tones, Ai-chan. No one knew what she looked like, but the descriptions of her victims were always the same. A single, delicate cherry blossoms left at the scene, its petals stained with the victim's blood. Detective Ishida was tasked with unraveling the mystery. A man in his late 40s, with a rugged face and a sharp mind, he had seen his fair share of horrors in the war-torn city, but nothing could have prepared him for the trail of bodies that led him deeper into the world of the geisha. The first victim was a young tea shop owner, found dead in her shop, with her eyes gouged out and a cherry blossom petal on her chest. The second victim was a musician, discovered in a hidden alleyway with his fingers severed and a cherry blossom tucked behind his ear. And the third victim was a geisha herself, found in her own quarters with her skin flayed and a cherry blossom pinned to her obi. The latest victim was a wealthy patron known for his lavish spending on the geisha. He was found in his mansion, his body brutally mutilated with a cherry blossom arrangement on his chest. The patron had been known to have a close relationship with Ai-chan, and Ishida suspected that this murder was personal. Each crime scene was meticulously arranged, with the cherry blossom serving as a signature. Ishida knew he was dealing with a calculating and artistic killer. One evening, as he strolled through the streets of Gion, he spotted a figure in the distance. She was a geisha, her kimono a vibrant shade of red, her obi intricately tied. But it was her face that caught Ishida's attention, a porcelain doll's visage with a skin as pale as the moon. As she drew closer, Ishida noticed the cherry blossom pinned to her obi. It was the same symbol left at the crime scenes. His heart racing, he approached her, his hand resting on the grip of his pistol. "Ai-chan?" he asked, his voice low and cautious. The geisha's eyes locked onto his, and for a moment, Ishida felt like he was drowning in their depths. They were eyes that seemed to hold 1,000 secrets, 1,000 sorrows. "I'm not the one you're looking for, detective," she said, her voice like honey and smoke. "But I can lead you to her. Follow me." Ishida hesitated, unsure if he should trust this mysterious woman. But something about her words drew him in, like a moth to a flame. He followed her through the winding streets, the cherry blossoms overhead casting dappled shadows on the ground. As they walked, the geisha introduced herself as Emiko. She told Ishida that she had known Ai-chan since they were both young girls training in the traditional arts of the geisha. Emiko spoke of Ai-chan's beauty, her talent, and her fragility. Ishida began to see Ai-chan not just as a monster, but as a complex, multifaceted person. They stopped in front of a small, unassuming tea house. The geisha pushed open the door, revealing a dimly lit room filled with the scent of incense and something else. Something metallic, something sweet. Inside, Ishida found the killer, Ai-chan. The geisha with a taste for blood sat serenely on a tatami mat, a cherry blossom pinned to her obi. Her eyes met Ishida's, and he saw the madness that drove her, the beauty that consumed her. "You'll never understand," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "The pain, the beauty, the sacrifice, it's all part of the art." Ai-chan began to speak, her words pouring out like a river. She spoke of the trauma she had endured as a young girl, of the expectation placed upon her as a geisha. She spoke of the beauty that had been forced upon her, and the ugliness that had been inflicted upon her. Ishida listened, entranced, as Ai-chan's words painted a picture of a city torn apart by war and tradition. He saw the geisha district, with its intricate hierarchies and strict rules, as a microcosm of the larger society. As Ai-chan finished speaking, Emiko stepped forward, her eyes filled with tears. "Ai-chan, my dear sister," she said, "your art is flawed, but your heart is not. You have been hurt, and you have hurt others, but it's not too late to stop." Ai-chan's gaze faltered, and for a moment, Ishida saw a glimmer of humanity in her eyes, but it was quickly extinguished, replaced by the madness that had driven her to kill. Ishida watched, stunned, as Emiko subdued Ai-chan, the cherry blossoms falling from her obi, like a symbol of her defeat. As he left the tea house, the detective couldn't shake the feeling that he had only scratched the surface of a much darker, more complex world. The geisha's words echoed in his mind. "True beauty lies not in death, but in life." But what about the beauty that lay in the shadows? The beauty that drove mortals to madness and despair? That was a mystery Ishida knew he would never fully unravel. The story of Ai-chan, the killer geisha, would become a cautionary tale, whispered around campfires and in hushed tones. A reminder that in the world of geisha, beauty and death walk hand in hand, and sometimes it was impossible to tell one from the other. As Ishida walked away from the tea house, he felt a sense of sadness wash over him. He knew that he would never forget Ai-chan or the darkness that had driven her, and he knew that he would always wonder what had become of Emiko, the geisha who had saved him from the brink of death. Detective Ishida had met a killer named Ai-chan 4 years ago. The case had a big impact on him, and he often thought about it. Unfortunately, Ishida got sick with cancer and passed away. After he died, the police found a diary that belonged to him. In the diary, Ishida wrote about meeting Ai-chan and why she killed people. The police were surprised and started looking for Ai-chan right away, but they were too late. Ai-chan had already killed herself with poison. The police found her body in a garden with beautiful flowers. The police also tried to find Emiko, a woman who had helped Ishida find Ai-chan, but they couldn't find any information about her. It was like she vanished into thin air. The case was solved, but the police still didn't know what happened to Emiko. Some people thought she might have been involved in the crimes, while others thought she was innocent. The truth was never discovered.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share for more videos.